Muslims believe that this was sent down by God to earth.
Because it is said to have fallen from heaven.
In a chilling revelation, Jesus' ancient wisdom has unveiled a mystery hidden within the Kaaba. Deep within the heart of Islam's holiest site lies a restrained entity, concealed for centuries. What is the identity of this enigmatic being, and what could its presence mean for the faith? Could an unsettling force be confined within the Kaaba, hidden from the world for centuries? It's time for the truth to emerge from the shadows. Deep within the heart of Mecca, a city filled with centuries of devotion and mystery, stands the Kaaba, a structure of unmatched religious importance in Islam. Its story starts in the distant past, rooted in the profound legacy of the prophets. The origins of the Kaaba are steeped in Islamic tradition. It is said that Abraham, known as Ibrahim in Islam, and his son Ishmael were divinely appointed to construct this sacred structure. Picture the scene: a desert landscape, an expanse of unyielding sand and sky, and within it, a father and son, driven by divine command, lay down the foundations of what would become the most revered site in Islamic worship. This was to be the laying of a spiritual epicenter for millions of believers for centuries to come. But what if we told you that within the Kaaba's sacred walls, there lies a mystery, a restrained entity that holds secrets untold? As we begin our quest to reveal the secrets within the Kaaba, we must first understand why Abraham and Ishmael were chosen for the sacred task of its construction, and the remarkable legacy that they've left behind. The choice of these two figures is no mere historical footnote. In Islamic theology, Abraham stands as an ideal of monotheistic faith, a patriarch who, against all odds, upheld the oneness of God. His son Ishmael is praised as an ancestor of the Prophet Muhammad, connecting the stories of ancient prophecies with the start of Islam. Their combined legacy in the building of the Kaaba is a testament to their unwavering faith and endurance. The architectural changes of the Kaaba tell a story of continuous destruction and renewal, reflecting the turbulent history of the region itself. The original structure, as planned by Abraham and Ishmael, has undergone numerous renovations since their time. Each layer of stone, each change, tells a story of the eras it has witnessed. The Kaaba that stands today, draped in its iconic black kiswa, is a culmination of centuries of devotion and care. Consider the architectural details. The Kaaba is not just a structure, it is a geometric marvel, a cube standing approximately 50 feet high, with each side measuring roughly 40 feet. It is oriented in precise alignment with the cardinal points of the compass, a feature that underlines its significance as a focal point of Islamic worship. But is there more to this orientation than meets the eye? Could this precise alignment hold deeper cosmological or theological significance? The role of the Kaaba as the Qibla, the direction towards which Muslims around the globe turn in prayer, cannot be understated. This unified direction of worship, encompassing diverse cultures and geographies, is a powerful symbol of the unity and universality of the Islamic faith. But have you ever wondered why the Kaaba was chosen as the Qibla? In the early days of Islam, the Qibla was Jerusalem, a city revered in all Abrahamic faiths. However, a pivotal moment in Islamic history occurred when, according to Islamic tradition, the Qibla was divinely redirected towards the Kaaba. This massive shift, which is believed to have been ordered through a revelation to the Prophet Muhammad, marked the Kaaba as the undeniable spiritual center of Islam. The Kaaba's role extends beyond the architectural and geographical. It is a symbol of God's promise to humanity, a testament to faith, resilience, and the quest for spiritual connection. Yet, in an astonishing twist, Christian theology presents narratives that diverge significantly from Islamic views, especially regarding Jesus' revelations about the Kaaba. What could these revelations be, and how do they fit into the broader tapestry of Christian theology? In essence, the Christian perspective on Jesus and the Kaaba is full of complexities. For instance, some Christian interpretations suggest that Jesus, in his role as a prophet and Messiah, had insights into the spiritual significance of the Kaaba that were profoundly different from Islamic beliefs. To understand these interpretations in the context of Christian theology, one must dive into the basic beliefs surrounding Jesus. Christianity regards Jesus as the Son of God and the Savior of humanity, whose teachings and actions are believed to have profound spiritual and eschatological implications. But how do these beliefs influence the Christian understanding of Jesus' revelations about the Kaaba? At the heart of these discussions is a fundamental question. What did Jesus, according to Christian theology, reveal about the Kaaba? Some Christian scholars argue that Jesus' teachings pointed to a broader understanding of God's presence and worship, surpassing geographical locations and structures. In this view, Jesus' revelation could be seen as an invitation to understand divine worship as boundless and universal. However, the impact of this purported revelation by Jesus on traditional Islamic views of the Kaaba cannot be overstated. It is said to have sparked intense debates within the Muslim community, challenging long-held beliefs about the Kaaba and even prompting questions about the nature of Allah. This revelation, as conveyed in certain Christian narratives, suggests a stark contrast to the Islamic understanding of the Kaaba as a holy site dedicated to monotheistic worship. For some Muslims, this presented a theological enigma. Could the teachings of Jesus, a prophet revered in Islam, hold truths that were previously unexplored in Islamic tradition? Amidst these complicated questions emerges the mysterious concept of the restrained entity within the Kaaba. The identity of this entity has been a subject of intense debate and speculation. Who or what is this being that is said to be bound within its sacred walls? One prevalent theory suggests that the restrained entity in the Kaaba is a symbol of divine power or presence. This interpretation posits that the Kaaba, particularly the black stone, is a channel for divine energy, containing in itself the very spirit of God himself. This view aligns with the Islamic perspective of the Kaaba being a sacred site, but diverges in its understanding of the nature of the divine presence. Additionally, another theory, less mainstream, proposes that the restrained entity could be the Prophet Muhammad, symbolizing the enduring spiritual and guiding influence he has within Islam. Could this interpretation offer a bridge between Islamic and Christian perceptions of the Kaaba? The black stone is a sacred object shrouded in mystery, and its origin story in Islam is equally fascinating and profound. According to Islamic tradition, the black stone was sent down from heaven, a celestial gift to Adam and Eve after their fall from paradise. Now, revered by millions of Muslims, it is not just a relic of the past, but a living symbol of their enduring faith. Positioned in the eastern corner of the Kaaba, it is an integral part of the Tawaf ritual during the Hajj pilgrimage, where believers seek to touch or kiss the stone in a gesture of reverence and devotion. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the black stone is its transformation from white to black. Legend has it that the stone was originally a pristine white, symbolizing purity. However, over the ages it turned black, believed to be due to the absorption of the sins of those who touched it. Another intriguing theory proposes that the restrained entity is a powerful spiritual being, possibly an angel or a celestial guardian. This concept is often linked to legendary texts and mystic teachings, which suggest that certain holy sites on earth are guarded by divine beings. This theory resonates with the idea of sacred spaces being under the watchful eyes of heavenly protectors. In many religious traditions, angels are viewed as messengers and protectors, assigned by the divine to guide and safeguard humanity and its sacred spaces. In particular, Islam sees angels as vital figures in God's creation, serving various roles, from messengers to guardians of heaven. The Quran speaks of angels in several contexts, emphasizing their purity, obedience, and dedication to the will of Allah. In Christian and Jewish traditions, too, angels play significant roles, often intervening in human affairs at key moments. Therefore, the idea that an angel could be the restrained entity within the Kaaba might bridge the understanding of sacred spaces across these Abrahamic faiths. The presence of divine or angelic beings in sacred spaces is often seen as a proof of the profound connection between the divine realm and the earthly world. It signifies a continual, unseen guidance and protection that transcends human understanding. Some interpretations take a more allegorical approach, viewing the restrained entity as a metaphor for human struggles against sin and temptation. In this view, the Kaaba symbolizes the heart of the believer, with the restrained entity representing the ongoing battle between good and evil within the human soul. This interpretation aligns with the universal spiritual themes of redemption and moral struggle found in many religious traditions. These interpretations, while varied, share a common thread. They all assign deep spiritual significance to the Kaaba, reinforcing its status as not just a physical structure, but a symbol of divine presence and the human effort towards moral and spiritual ideals. The concept of the restrained entity thus becomes a focal point for reflection on the nature of faith, temptation, and the human condition. In the realm of religious beliefs, the concept of restraint is not unique to the narrative surrounding the Kaaba. Across various religious traditions, the theme of restraint often surfaces, and it is frequently viewed as a moral and spiritual discipline. It is often linked with the idea of controlling one's base desires and impulses, aligning oneself with a higher, divine will. For example, in Christianity, the concept of restraint is often associated with self-control, a fruit of the Spirit mentioned in the New Testament. It's about resisting temptation and living in accordance with God's will. This idea of restraint can be seen in the context of Jesus' life and teachings, which emphasized love, self-sacrifice, and control over worldly desires. Judaism also places significant emphasis on restraint, particularly in the context of following the commandments and living a righteous life. The concept of Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and Yetzer Tov, the good inclination, in Jewish thought, highlight the constant struggle and need for restraint in the face of moral challenges. Finally, the concept of restraint is also a key element in Islamic spirituality, especially during the month of Ramadan, where fasting represents a form of self-restraint and a means to cultivate piety and self-discipline. But how does this Islamic practice of restraint compare and contrast with the symbolism surrounding the Kaaba? Throughout history, the Kaaba has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, survived conquests, and remained a uniting force amidst political turmoil. One of the lesser-known yet profoundly impactful events in its history was the Siege of Mecca in 683 AD, during the Second Fitna, a period of civil wars within the Islamic community. The Kaaba suffered significant damage during this siege, particularly when the Umayyad army catapulted the city, leading to the burning of the Kaaba. This event is not just a historical footnote, it symbolizes the Kaaba's resilience, enduring through periods of intense conflict and emerging as a beacon of hope and renewal. Now let's explore some of the intriguing conspiracy theories that have circulated about the Kaaba, offering alternative perspectives on its mysterious history and significance. One such theory suggests that the Kaaba is a remnant of an ancient lost civilization, possibly even of extraterrestrial origin. This idea stems from the exceptional precision of its construction and its meticulous alignment with celestial bodies, which some believe is indicative of advanced, unknown technology or knowledge. Proponents of this theory argue that such complex architecture, especially in a time we think of as not very technologically advanced, hints at help or guidance from external sources. They speculate that the Kaaba could have been an important part of a larger, unknown civilization's network, serving purposes we don't understand. This theory is further fueled by the reverence of the site in pre-Islamic times, suggesting it has always been seen as special, maybe as a center of power or knowledge. While mainstream academia largely dismisses these notions as speculative without concrete evidence, they persist in the realm of alternative history and ufology, captivating those who are drawn to the mysteries of the ancient world. The Black Stone, a revered object embedded in the eastern corner of the Kaaba, is the center of various legends and theories that further mystify the Kaaba's lore. One popular theory suggests that the Black Stone is a meteorite, giving it a celestial and cosmic significance. The dark color of the stone and the fact that it was worshipped by pre-Islamic pagan tribes as a sacred object add weight to this theory, indicating it may have been seen as a celestial or heavenly body that descended to Earth. This idea ties into broader themes of meteorites in various cultures being seen as divine or otherworldly messengers. Some enthusiasts go further, speculating that the black stone contains mysterious inscriptions or symbols which hold undiscovered knowledge or prophecies. They claim that these hidden messages could unlock ancient wisdom, offering insights into the origins and purpose of the Kaaba and human civilization itself. These theories, while speculative and not supported by mainstream historical or archaeological evidence, add an element of enigma to the Black Stone and the Kaaba. Another intriguing aspect of the Kaaba's mystique involves its role in end-times prophecy. Various apocalyptic narratives in Islamic eschatology, or beliefs regarding the end of the world, suggest a significant role for the Kaaba in the events leading up to the Day of Judgment. Some interpretations propose that the Kaaba will be destroyed, signifying the cataclysmic events of the end times. This belief is rooted in certain readings of Islamic texts and prophecies, which speak of terrifying events that will precede the final judgment. The destruction of the Kaaba, in these narratives, is seen as a pivotal moment, marking the end of an era and the onset of a new, transformative period in human history. These interpretations, while diverse and often speculative, contribute to the sense of awe and solemnity that surrounds the Kaaba, embedding it deeply in the spiritual beliefs of many. In the intricate web of Islamic beliefs surrounding the end of times, the Kaaba's destruction is often linked with the arrival of apocalyptic figures, notably the Mahdi and the Dajjal, or the Islamic equivalent of the Antichrist. Some narratives describe the Mahdi, a messianic figure in Islamic belief, defending the Kaaba from the power of the Dajjal. This apocalyptic battle, foretold to take place in or around Mecca, is said to be a defining moment in the end times, leading to a period of justice and peace under the Mahdi's leadership. This stark imagery of conflict and ultimate redemption surrounding the Kaaba adds a layer of dramatic intensity to its religious significance. Tied to this apocalyptic scenario is the significant role of Jesus, known as Isa in Arabic, within Islamic tradition. In contrast to the Christian belief in Jesus as the Son of God and Savior, Islam regards him as a revered prophet and an ideal of virtue, but not divine. His return in the end times is a key aspect of Islamic tradition, where he plays a pivotal role in defeating falsehood and establishing truth. A fascinating and lesser-known aspect of Islamic eschatology is the belief in Jesus' second coming. Unlike Christian interpretations where Jesus returns as a reigning king, in Islam, Jesus descends as a just leader who will restore faith and order. One of the most intriguing narratives is that Jesus will join forces with the Mahdi to battle the Dajjal. There are numerous hadiths or sayings of the Prophet Muhammad that describe Jesus' return with vivid details. One such hadith depicts Jesus descending at a white minaret in the eastern part of Damascus, clad in yellow robes, his hands resting on the wings of two angels. His mission is described as being to abolish the jizya tax signifying the end of religious divisions, and to establish Islam as the universal faith. This portrayal contrasts sharply with the Christian second coming, emphasizing Jesus' role in affirming Islamic theology. A lesser-known and somewhat controversial theory in Islamic eschatology is the suggestion that Jesus' return will also mark a reconciliation of religious differences. Some interpretations propose that Jesus will clarify misunderstandings about his life and mission, dispelling the divisions between Christianity and Islam. This theory posits that his return will be a moment of enlightenment, while another theory suggests that Jesus' second coming will unveil hidden knowledge and secrets that have been concealed for centuries. This includes the possibility of revealing the true nature and purpose of significant religious artifacts and sites, potentially including the Kaaba. Some go as far as to speculate that Jesus will uncover hidden truths about the origins of major world religions, reshaping the global religious landscape. A more apocalyptic theory in Islamic eschatology posits that Jesus' return will coincide with extraordinary cosmic and earthly changes. But could there be a connection between the apocalyptic return of Jesus and the extraordinary cosmic and earthly changes said to herald his arrival, especially in relation to the restrained entity allegedly trapped within the Kaaba. In this apocalyptic narrative, Islamic tradition foretells a time of immense upheaval and transformation. It is believed that as the end times draw near, celestial signs will manifest, the natural order will be disrupted by cataclysmic events, and societal structures will undergo profound shifts. These signs are seen as harbingers of an impending era of change and ultimate justice. At the heart of this theory is the notion that Jesus' return is intricately linked to these cosmic and earthly changes. He is envisioned as a central figure in this transformative period, wielding a divine mission to restore justice, eradicate falsehood, and establish a reign of righteousness. The connection to the restrained entity within the Kaaba lies in the symbolism of these cosmic and earthly changes. Some interpretations suggest that the restrained entity, whether it be a symbol of divine power or presence, an angelic guardian, or a metaphor for human struggles, may play a role in these apocalyptic events. It is speculated that the release or revelation of the restrained entity from the Kaaba may coincide with the momentous arrival of Jesus and the unfolding of these cosmic and earthly transformations. Thanks for watching this episode of Beyond Discovery. Don't miss the video you see on your screen, you won't believe it.